Hi everyone, and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best bets for tomorrow's racing. Now before we get stuck into those, I just want to apologise for having a blank day today. It wasn't our finest hour. We've been in good form earlier in the week, but like I said, we drew a blank today. Before we get into the tips tomorrow, I'll just quickly recap how they ran. First of all, we started with our next best, who was Le Chiffre at Beverley in the 2:30 there. He ran respectable enough to finish in third place. It was typical. The other horse I did like in that race, who I thought was the danger, turned out to be the winner, which was Harrison Point for Archie Watson and Holly Doyle. He had some good form coming in, obviously ran in the Britannia Handicap earlier this season at Royal Ascot, and that form worked out really well. But I just thought the Chiffre still had a little bit more scope off his mark. I saw 1 or 2 people get in touch with me, and they said that Daniel Tudhope didn't give it a good ride. I really don't buy that. The way the horse likes to be run, he's not really a horse that likes to be up there with the pace, even though, yes, maybe sometimes you have to be like that at Beverley. He's a horse that likes to be midfield or towards the rear of the field, because his key asset is his turn of foot, and he was staying on quite strongly up that hill at Beverley. But I just think maybe he found a couple of horses that were a little bit better treated than him at the weight. So yeah, it wasn't a bad performance by Le Chiffre, but yeah, a bit annoying there he couldn't go and win for us. Then our next selection was Two Blondes, who I am a little bit disappointed about, to be honest. Didn't claw a little bit of profit back for us. I accept that he wouldn't have won, but if you actually look at the race down the home straight, you're thinking he's going to hold on and finish second or third. But no, he just got chinned on the line, and I think he finished in 4th in the end. Just missed out there, and that would have been a nice little bit of each way profit, because he did drift out. I think you could have got him at a double figure price not long before the off. So that was a little bit frustrating there. And then also as well, our nap, Keep Busy. I think she ran okay, but Dakota Gold, he hadn't been at quite A1 this season, but he sure now maybe is turning the corner. And maybe this is the time to catch him, this is the time of year when he really took that leap forward last season. But yeah, Keep Busy, she ran all right, but in the end just bumped into an informed Dakota Gold. So yeah, it was a little bit disappointing today, but fingers crossed it was just a blip and we can have some winners again tomorrow. Now, I was actually going to put up quite a few selections tomorrow. I did fancy quite a lot, but unfortunately, due to the weather forecast, it's really uncertain really what's going to get rain and what isn't. So I've gone with horses that are going to like a little bit of cut in the ground, and where I think there will be rain as well. And we're going to start tomorrow in the 3:30 at Goodwood with my nap. Now they are expecting some rain here. There's already a little bit of cut in the ground, and this horse, he loves this course, especially when there's cut in the ground, and I've backed him quite a few times, put him up there a few times as well on my YouTube channel. Old favourite of mine, and that is Pettochside for Cieren, Fallon and John Bridger. Now the old boy, now he's getting on, he's 11 years old, but he's still shown an attitude for the game. He's already won this season at Windsor back in July, I think it was. So he's already shown that he's still got an aptitude for the game. And if you actually go back for a lot of his old form, a couple of years ago, he was running off marks in the mid-90s. He's now down to a mark of 69. He has lost his way a little bit. I think it was last season where he really did plummet. But then at this time last year, he kind of then rediscovered some of his old form. And the key normally for him to show his best is when there's plenty of juice in the ground. So he's already a heavy course winner if you go back for his form. So the rain coming tomorrow will really help his causes. And I just think he's still got a little bit of ability off this mark, and he's going to handle Goodwood a lot better than some of his rivals. He's won there a few times during his career, and I just think there's a lot to like about his chances tomorrow. Cieren Fallon as well is leading the Apprentice Jockeys Championship. He looks like he's going to win it, and I think he's got a great chance here of extending his lead in that Apprentice Jockeys Championship. So yeah, it's not the most original selection tomorrow, but if you can still get the 10 of 3, I think that's a good bet there, and I'll be disappointed if Pettochside couldn't notch up another course win at Goodwood. We then don't have to wait too long actually for our long shot of the day, and I'm going to go for the Irish Cambridgeshire here in the 3:40, the Curragh with my long shot. And I'm going to go Quizzical for Sheila, Lavery and Browne McMonagle, claiming a handy £7. I've been really impressed with Dylan actually. I've watched him quite a few times over in Ireland during the last couple of months. I think he's definitely a name for the future, and he's a good jockey booking here for Sheila Lavery. Now, Sheila Lavery's stable have been having a couple of winners in the last couple of weeks, so that's good to know that they are a little bit informed. You can currently back this horse at 12 to 1 each way, and that price is with Paddy Power, who are offering 6 places for the race. So I urge you to go there if you want as many places as you can for this race. But this horse, Quizzical, his best form comes when it's soft ground, and they are expecting some rain at the Curragh. They've had plenty of rain in Ireland during this week. I've seen some of the racing at Bellewstown, and I think it was either yesterday or the day before. You couldn't even barely see at one point. So yeah, they've had plenty of rain over the Irish Sea, and Quizzical, you know, he does well in these kind of handicaps. He also off a mark of 96 now, which is a career high mark for him, but he's been running okay. He finished 4th in a listed race last time out at Killarney behind So Wonderful, so that's not a bad standard there, even though it did take, you might remember, So Wonderful a couple of times to get her head in front. I think she was a maiden for quite a while until 2 or 3 starts ago, so yeah, she's maybe starting to find life a little bit easier now. But yeah, I think Quizzical's got a good chance tomorrow. Won a soft ground handicap at Leopardstown on his final start last season. He's got a fair draw as well in stall 8. And if Browne McMonagle can get him in the right positions at 12 to 1, I think he's a fair each way price there. And I can't really see him finishing outside of the first 6. I'd be disappointed if he couldn't go quite close. So he is going to be the long shot tomorrow, and fingers crossed we can get a good run for our money there. We then go with the next best for the 4:15 at Newmarket with a horse called Blue Skyline. There was a horse called Desert Skyline for the same connections, and this horse is trained by David Elsworth, and Ryan Moore is an eye-catching jockey booking tomorrow. Now this horse has been in my tracker ever since he finished 3rd last season behind King Leonidas. Now King Leonidas has done okay for the form, but he just didn't quite live up to expectations when he ran at Royal Ascot. But I still think he could still be a nice horse moving forward. But this horse, I think, Blue Skyline, has been waiting for a bit of soft ground. He's been starting to warm to the task in his recent starts. He finished 3rd on the all-weather at Kempton last time out in a race which hasn't worked out too badly. Also as well, I think going back on turf will help him too. And I just think he's fairly treated off a mark in the high 60s, and I think he's better than his current mark too. Dropping down in trip as well shouldn't be an issue for him tomorrow. You can currently back him at 13 to 2, and I think that's a big price. I'm going to actually recommend you back him each way tomorrow. I think Desert Skyline, we haven't got to the bottom of him yet, and I think he's going to keep improving. He looks like the horse that will just keep improving and improving, and I think with the booking of Ryan Moore, that says it all, that they expect a good run tomorrow. So I think Blue Skyline at 13 to 2 is a fair bet there, and that is going to be my next best for tomorrow. So if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel here at Lucky Loaders 15. Also as well, if you want to follow me on social media, you can do, where my handle is at Lucky Loader 15. And also as well, if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, a bit about my career as a journalist and what I've done, and if you want to get in touch with me and read my blogs and stuff, just go to my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. There's a link in the description box below, along as well with my profit and loss record for August. So if you want to find out all of that kind of stuff, just look in the description box below. It explains itself. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.